This is Pat Freeman back here on the network with my buddy Chris Stevenson. How you doing, Chris?
What's going on, Pat?
Well, we're going to continue our conversation diving into the background of the Romney clan as Mitt Romney makes his run as the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party. He is now being vetted on the network and his background. Chris, what else have you found out about Mitt Romney?
I'm so happy you put it that way. There's Romneys in Mexico.
Romney's in Mexico.
I'm not saying New Mexico. I'm talking about Mexico.
Mexico.
Okay? There's a lot of them because there was a time period where a lot of my Romneys, not even out of choice. They were, when the polygamy was outlawed by the Latter-day Saints in 1890, a lot of the Romneys, along with other Mormon families, were removed, and they just by their own choice went to Mexico so that they can continue their practices. And really, unofficially, that church helped them, their select members to get over there, okay, and so that they can do this. So they helped them on the down low, all right.
On the DL.
On the DL. That's all it was to it.
Well, what's some of the background of some of Romney's?
Some of the Romneys, say for example, you see, you go back to George, Mitt's father. George was born in Mexico. Okay, but the family patriarchs they're trying to say that Gaskell Romney is really the family patriarch, but he wasn't. Miles Park Romney was the one. He was the one. He had 4 wives. He had 30 children. 4
wives and 30 children.
Yes.
And who was he to Romney? Miles Park?
He's the great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather.
Right. Gaskell's the grandfather.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, did Gaskell have multiple wives?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
You haven't found anything?
Haven't found anything.
They haven't disclosed his practice.
Okay. But I'm quite sure if you were to travel across the border
to Mexico.
Yeah. It wouldn't take long before you run into a Romney.
Maybe that's his stance on immigration.
There were some Romneys after. Now look, here's the thing. Okay, talk about immigration. The Romneys invented their own immigration while they were in Mexico when the Spanish Revolution broke out. They said, "Hey, we better go back to the States." So they packed up and left. And after the Spanish Civil War or the Spanish War was over, the Spanish Revolution. Then some of them said, okay, so if the coast is clear, we can go back to Mexico. All right? So there are several families. And one of the Romneys lately says, I never met a Romney that I'm not related to.
Oh, my goodness.
All right? The Romneys in Mexico don't want to make the Romneys in America look bad. So they're not coming forward with any truth.
They're trying to stay quiet.
Right, they're trying to stay quiet.
Are we one of the first shows to talk about the Romney clan in Mexico?
We're probably the first show to talk about it. I mean, at least go into detail about the Romney clan in Mexico. People of other talk shows have talked about the Obama clan. Okay, yes, all over the place.
Malaysia,
okay. There's a whole lot of talk about that, but not the upright Romneys. But after George's father, Gaskell and all them, they came to America, and they lived in Detroit. George was 5 years old when they left Mexico. Okay, they came to Detroit. He was raised and everything, and he was the first one in the family to run for president, and he became well known there. Of course, Mitt of course came along after that, but the Romneys have quite a history, and it is a history steeped in this polygamy.
Polygamy practitioners.
Well, you can call it, what do you do? Multi-wifeys?
Now,
multiculturalism? Well, this is multi-wifism. Okay?
Why doesn't he talk about this stuff? He seems to think he can run for president without being fully vetted himself. He's vetting his vice presidential choice right now. Right. But we have not vetted Mitt Romney.
No. You know why? A lot of the country doesn't want to vet Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney is vetted through ethnicity. They're saying that's good enough for them. All right? In other words, he's white. He's all right.
But will Christian fundamentalists who are traditionally conservative vote for a person that is a non-Christian? You don't think so?
A lot of them won't. No, not
They're
enough,
not going to come out.
Not enough for him to win the presidency.
They're not going to come out and say it.
They're not going to come out and say it.
But they're not going to support it.
But yeah, a lot of them when they go to that into that booth and close the curtain, they vote for a black man.
Or they're going to vote for someone else.
Or someone else. But still, you can rest assured that Obama's going to get a lot of that Christian vote.
I think he will too.
You know, and which one is living like the Christian?
Hey.
Okay? Which one is living like the Christian? You know, if there was dirt to be had on Obama, Hillary would have got it out.
Yeah.
Okay? Hillary.
He's been fully vetted.
Yes.
And you still got Donald Trump trying to be a birther.
Right. You know, so that all of their vetting is fantasy vets.
An incumbent president has already been vetted.
Yeah. People have all these weird and wacky theories about Obama. Like you talk about the birther. Some people are still on the birther thing. Some people are saying he was actually born in Kenya. Some people are saying he's gay. You know what I'm saying? They got this way out wacky stuff on Obama. Some people say that he was actually he's a Muslim and he fought during in the Afghan war against Russia.
Okay.
Some people say he didn't really go to Columbia and Harvard because the records are missing. They got these wacky people that are making these outlandish, outer space theories about Obama.
How is Romney escaping the full? It seems like they're harping on Bain Capital, which is a story within itself. Mm-hmm. I think as that begins to break out, it's going to hurt Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney is totally... the comments that he makes on foreign policy is disgraceful. But
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the same people who come up with all this stuff on Obama, she need to pay attention to Romney, and they'll find some real stuff.
Real stuff.
Oh, they'll find some real stuff.
Nominate a guy like this. Why are the polls so close? Is beyond me.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But they're close. White skin is pulling Romney up.
I'm afraid that people
if it were just a contest between Herman Cain and he's got the same credentials as Romney, Obama would be way ahead.
Way ahead.
Embarrassingly ahead.
Way ahead. If Herman Cain was the nominee, I'd say it'd be 57% to maybe 40% close. I mean,
I'd say 30%.
Close. Maybe even worse.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'd
the
say
30%.
About 30. Yeah.
But because this nation is still wrestling with race and they're not willing to talk about race, it's still a dilemma. This man saved your country.
Yes.
800,000 jobs lost the month he took the oath of office. He saved the auto industry. Yet in Michigan, it's neck and neck. How can that be? There's something wrong with that picture.
Good. That's good brainwashing. That really is
incredible.
That's amazing brainwashing. But I read an article. It was a guy in the auto, one of the GM executives. He came out and said, "There's no way around it. That's Obama." He said, "We're back because of Obama."
Obama saved this country.
That's all there is to it.
This shouldn't even be as bad as the Republican primary was.
Mm-hmm.
As this thing has broken out, it shouldn't even be close, should it?
No, it shouldn't be.
I don't get it. Gas prices are going down. The economy's coming up. You're adding jobs every month. Yet Mitt Romney's trying to say, I can do better. Can you?
No.
You're going to make it worse. You're going to go back, keep the tax breaks on rich people that can afford to pay taxes, and kill the middle class, which fuels your nation. And the poor, you don't want to assist them at all because you say they have a safety net.
And he's going to reverse the immigration thing.
Right.
Okay, that's the thing. He's going to send more people back to the Romneys.
Dream Act.
Okay.
And he's against Obamacare, which was modeled after Romney Care in Massachusetts when he had to pass. He was in a very liberal state especially with the influence of Kennedy on medicine. Right. He had to pass Romney Care. And Romney Care was the basis of Obamacare, but he wants to repeal it.
Right.
I mean, how can he have a conversation about that? I mean, what is he going to do as a
Wait.
debate? Mr. Governor Romney, you say you want to repeal Obamacare as soon as you're elected president. Yes, I do. But Obamacare was modeled after Romneycare. What do you have to say about that? Oh, not that closely. What are you going to do?
You know what? I bet you Romney's constituents are trying to steer him away from a direct debate against Obama.
Right.
I bet you they would try to do, because there's no match.
Right.
There is no match. You don't want to. If you're a Republican, you don't want to see that. You know your guy. Like you said, we talked to Asperger's last week. I mean, you don't want to put that up against a Harvard grad. No,
it's ridiculous. Now, another thing, Chris, we talked about before. We were just talking about. They don't want to get it. They were trying to bring back Jeremiah Wright, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You bring back Jeremiah Wright, and now we're in a religious conversation about a guy that's a non-Christian. They don't want that, do they?
No.
Hey,
No.
We're going to be talking more about this in the coming weeks on the network as Chris continues to research the background of Willard Mitt Romney, coming up with some really interesting stuff. Great-grandfather, right?
Right.
4 wives, 30 kids.
4 wives, 30 kids.
And the Romney clan is in Mexico, people.
You know, it was Disco Inferno in Mexico.
That's why he doesn't want immigration. Hey, put out your blog information, Chris, so we can get people on our blogs reading all of our
TheBuffaloBullet.com. Read articles of some of the best op-ed writers in the country, including Pat, myself, other people, Charles M. Blow. Check it out, TheBuffaloBullet.com.
All right, that's all for us here on the network. I'm Pat Freeman. It's my buddy Chris Stevenson. We'll see you next week on the network.